How you guys doing tonight? Oh man, what a great crowd tonight. Ready to get rained on, I think is what's going on here tonight. And so I heard how good the room smells, and I said it is only going to get better. So we got 11 oils to pass around to love on. So thank you guys for being here. I feel like a rock star on the Echo tonight. So I would ask if you would take your cell phones. And it's going to get good tonight. All right. So anything that might embarrass you if it goes off, if you want to shut that off, that would be great. Everybody goes, oh yeah, that'd be me. Okay. So let's start by, this is Audrey Whitesides, who's teaching tonight.
Hey guys.
So excited. If you don't know Audrey yet, you will fall in love with her by the end of the night. Actually, shorter than that, maybe halfway through. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you halfway through. I'm going to give you till halfway through. But I'd love to start by recognizing some of the Young Living ranks in the room. And we'll start, I know none of our RCDs are here tonight, but I know we have a Crown Diamond in the room that just walked in. Well, two. Jim Goodyear and Miss Christy Dempsey in the back. And then diamonds, I know we have Shell. Anyone else? Hi, Shell. Anyone? And then we're going to platinums. Miss Audrey's already standing up. Any other platinums in the room? This is exciting. This is a group of new. Yeah. All right, golds. I know we have some golds in the room. Look at that. Gold leaders. How about those that serve as silver leaders with Young Living? Yay! And executives. Wow. They're the shy ones of the group. That was a quick up and down. How about the senior stars? Yay! Lots. Great. And stars. Lots of stars. Yay! Our beginning rank in Young Living, I love that because that means you're starting to share the goodness, which is why you're here tonight. So I just want to be sure that you're all here to learn how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your family. And we have one of the best Raindrop givers as well as business leaders here teaching tonight. So you guys, this is like a huge thrill. Like outside of corporate trainers, I don't know anyone that does it better than you do. So I'm very happy to have you. So thank you. Now, for our extra bonus, Audrey is also teaching our Young Living Opportunity part tonight, too, that we'll go straight into. And she named it Mama Don't Raise No Quitter. So it's like really Texas here tonight. So, right? So she has some key principles that will help you create a culture within your Young Living tribe and your family where quitting is just not an option. And we really feel that we want you to value your health in all areas of your life, right, for all the time and where it is spent. So going into time management and things like that too. And to value the things that you learn and not to forget about the freedom that you can achieve through that. So that's what we want to do. So Jim and I were just in Canada last week, a week and a half ago, with Young Living up at our farm. And that was our newest farm, actually, the Northern Lights farm. So, yeah, 1 in the morning, I was out in the parking lot in the motel looking for the Northern Lights. And I didn't see them that night. But A for effort. no sleep. But it is an amazing place. And the Seed to Seal that Audrey's going to talk about, you guys want to stick around for her second part because she's going to be giving away some really nice gifts. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay.
So take notes.
So take notes. Yes, because that's coming. So we just value all of this, and we're just a couple of upcoming events because, as you know, like, how is it the 8th of May already? What's up with that, right? So our next class, in a blink of an eye, will be right across the hall. We're going to have that other room. That'll be the first Tuesday. That'll be the 5th of June because what happens the next week?
Convention.
Yeah, we're all going to be in Salt Lake City for convention. That's the 13th through the 16th. And if you still are like, you know what, didn't think I was going to go, but I think I want to go. you come see me. I will make that happen somehow. And then the 10th of July is our next class. And then 4 days later, on the 14th, that Saturday, is our Live Your Passion Rally, where we always have fantastic things. They save some great things from convention for that. So we're so happy to have you guys at all of those things. So let me just start out. How many of you have ever received a raindrop session?
Pretty good number.
Nice, pretty good. How many of you have ever given a raindrop? Oh, wow.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Not the same number. I know. How many of you want to train family members so you can get a raindrop whenever you want?
Yeah. You, whatever.
Just saying. That's why Jim Goodyear showed up here tonight. Saying, all right. So, although we have many talented massage therapists that do this as part of their services in the area that are fantastic, # Mother's Day coming up on Sunday.
That's right.
You want to be able to do things, because as I was told, still do, but in my naturopathic business, everything happens on Friday night and Saturday, right? So you want to have tools in your toolbox to deal with things. But what's so lovely about what Audrey's going to share is that we want to do things before you get to that point to help support our immune system. So thank you for being here, Audrey.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Danette.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me. This is a dream of mine to wear one of these. My
Oh.
whole life. Ever
Anything
since
I
I
can
was
do.
a little girl, I'm like, I am going to rock the Madonna headset. So that's really why I'm here tonight. So check that off my vision board. Okay. My name is Audrey. I live in Fort Worth. And, 30, 45 minutes away from here. I'm really thankful that our classes are in Grapevine. Anybody else? Super happy. So thank you, Danette, for doing that. I am married. My husband's here tonight, Russ. We have 2 little boys, Finn and Gabe. Finn is 6.5. Gabe is 2.5, and they are oily. They love their oils. My 2.5-year-old thanks me after I apply his oils to him. He just says, "Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy." Okay, so true story. October 27th of 2013. I'm not going to cry. I was at my kitchen table. My laptop was open, and I was ordering my premium starter kit. My hand was literally shaking because I was like, what if they make me do the business of this? I don't know if I want it. And I walked outside because my husband was mowing the grass. It's in October. You guys know in Texas you're still mowing in October. I actually made him stop mowing. And I said, "Are you sure we want to buy this kit? I mean, that's a lot of money." And he was like, "Come on, this is going to be great. This is going to be so good for Finn." At the time, we only had one child. Russ is the one to thank. So I was like, "Really? Are you sure?" He was like, "Yes, it's going to be good for all these reasons. You're going to love it. This totally suits your personality. Let's just buy the dang thing already." And I said, "Well, what if they make me do the business or something?" And he was like, "No one's going to make you do anything you don't want to." And I was like, "Oh, that's right. And so then I took out my finger and I pointed and I was like, "But let me tell you this. I will never teach a class about essential oils." So I knew this was going to happen. So obviously, never say never, right? Okay. Embracing a high-touch technique in a high-tech world. Shell Carter is actually the person that I need to thank for being here. She's the one that planted the seed of loving Raindrop. My very first Young Living event I ever went to as a silver. And I saw April Pointer and I saw Danette Goodyear and I was thinking, do you think it's weird if I ask for their autograph? I don't know. Do you do that in Young Living? I don't know. But I don't even remember what the question was. But Shell Carter was up there in the panel and she said that she used to drop the Raindrop oils on her kids' backs at night for immune support. She was a single mom. She needed to be at work, and her kids needed to be at school. So immediately, buy Raindrop kit, must learn what Raindrop even is. No idea. That planted a seed in me. And so from then on out, I began to just take in all the Raindrop goodness. And I was just astonished, you guys, at this technique that only our company has. Our founder created this. There's no other essential oil companies that have this. This is special. This is exclusive to Young Living, just like Seed to Seal. So we need to learn what it is, and we need to apply it to our everyday life. So before I talk about this, I just want to say, we live in a world where we're on our phones, we're on our iPad, we have our TV going, we are constantly just bombarded with technology. And the big thing that I've learned about Raindrop is that people are really starved for touch. They're really starved for that personal connection, especially people that are maybe widows or widowers, don't have kids jumping on them all the time, aren't married. They're really starved for touch. And what I found when I, was on my quest of raindropping every person I could find that was willing to get on this table, is that people would say, I can't remember the last time I was touched. That was amazing. That was so powerful to me. So please take that into consideration. If you're someone that's like, I don't like feet, I don't like touching people, just think about that. This is a ministry. This is a laying on of hands for someone. And you are imparting energy to someone. It's really, really powerful. So, Raindrop Technique is a powerful, non-invasive tool for assisting the body in supporting a healthy spine. Raindrop Technique originated in the 1980s from the research of Gary Young, working with the Lakota Medicine Man. It is exclusive to Young Living. It integrates VitaFlex technique with the power of essential oils in bringing the body into structural and electrical alignment. So, hopefully you guys have this book. If you don't, go home and order it tonight. This is our essential oils desk reference, and this is what it looks like on the front. This is the big mama of that pocket size that we're going to give away tonight. That doesn't really fit in your pocket, but it's called the pocket size. And this is the page that you're going to go to, and you're going to see, wow, this is why we do raindrop on the feet. This is why we do raindrop on the spine. Raindrop uses a sequence of essential oils that are immune enhancing, support the body's natural defenses and body systems. These oils, which are high in antioxidants, are also mood elevating, creating an unfavorable environment for harmful agents that can hibernate in the body. This may boost stamina and energy, help you relax, help you manage stress and frustration, and promote overall health. So when I give someone a raindrop, I tell them, usually I'll have two responses. One is you're going to get up, you're going to feel relaxed, and then you're going to go have so much energy and just do everything on your to-do list. And then we have some people that are like, I'm just going to go home and take a nice long nap. They feel so relaxed. Both of them are great outcomes, I think. So for you green personalities, if you're familiar with the personality test, this slide is for you. Raindrop supplies, all right? Take a picture, write it down. This is what you need. We definitely need our raindrop, ooh, that's heavy, our raindrop kit. You guys, you can just buy this whole thing as one from Young Living. You can get it on your Essential Rewards order. It comes with the massage oils that you need and every single oil in the raindrop sequence. Maybe you will get a massage table. I don't know. This one right here, I got it for $130 off Amazon. It came with everything I needed, and I'm just saying, you'll only give raindrop one time on a bed. Hashtag love your back. I'm just saying, the first time I gave a raindrop to my husband when I came home from my care course, halfway through I was like, I don't love you this much. This is hurting. I need a raindrop now from giving you a raindrop. So $130. This actually stays up a lot in our house because I'm always giving raindrops. I can just quickly carry it in. It's really simple, and it's really not that expensive. Notes on the steps. So you all should have got the Notes on Steps page, the quick reference to raindrop. If you're not If you don't have one, raise your hand, and Danette or some amazing person in here will bring it to you. Please note that raindrop is not always done the same way every time. So I'm pretty sure, Danette, didn't Gary Young give you your first raindrop? Oh my word, in France. That's pretty cool. Can't top that, right? I'm pretty sure what I've heard anyway is that Gary Young never does a raindrop the same way twice. And some people, you'll go online, you'll look at Young Living's video on raindrop, and you'll be like, well, Audrey said, or so-and-so said, what about this? Just know, as long as you have your raindrop oils and you're at least doing most of it the same way, you're doing raindrop, guys. You're doing raindrop. I heard that Gary Young says raindrop's supposed to be done in silence. That really creeps me out. So I have a little, spa vibe action going on. I have some relaxing music playing. Really just, you can get that on Spotify or Amazon Music. You're going to need your tools for the warm compress. How many of you have made warm compress a part of your oils routine? Not that many? I'm so excited. You guys, when I was reading my pocket reference guide cover to cover, I learned about warm compress. I learned about layering. I learned about all these amazing things. And I was like, well, man, I'm going to look like I really know what I'm talking about. I'm going to teach them about 2 towels and water. It's incredible. And I learned that in raindrop, it is like the star of the show. So you need a small hand towel, and you need just a big towel, just like that. Big towel. And then this is the kicker. Honestly, this is the part that holds people back from doing raindrop. Ladies, no fingernail polish. Because the oils, especially oregano and thyme, take your fingernail polish off. I haven't met anyone yet that's okay with me putting my polish on their feet or their back. And then you have to cut your nails really short. So if you have fake nails, I hear some in the crowd. I'm sorry. But, and then of course, you don't want to have fake nails. You just can't do the VitaFlex technique. And you will actually leave fingernail prints in their back. So not good. Okay, so let's talk about these oils. We're actually going to pass around all the raindrop oils while I talk. And I need y'all to do me a big favor. I want you to take a picture of these slides, or go old school, write it down, and go home, maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, and look up like this 60 to 75% carvacrol, thymol, that word methyl cavacol. Look up those words, and then it's going to help you understand more about these awesome oils. So first we have oregano, right? Oregano is an HOT oil, okay? It's got lots of phenol propanoids in it, okay? We like to use our oregano in our immune rollers. We also like to use it in our muscle rollers. If you don't have oregano, you guys have got to get this one. It's the one that I'm telling my team when they say, hey, I'm ready to place my next order. What do I get? Oregano, 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 oregano. Make sure you have oregano. You can never have enough oregano. And we also have that as a vitality oil. Oh, sorry. Okay, you're going to pass the oils back and then flip it over the other side of the room, and it's going to come up the other side. Y'all got that? Okay. Then we have thyme. It's always in our immune rollers at home. It's in our muscle rollers. Basil can be relaxing to both voluntary and involuntary muscles. Voluntary being like arms and legs. Involuntary being like our heart, other things like that. Mentally energizing. I love to put basil on my temples. And it can actually help improve sense of taste and smell. I don't know if y'all have heard that before. But for people that want to do that, just simply a roller on the bottoms of the feet every day would be great. Then we have wintergreen. It is great to support the joints and skeletal structure. Marjoram. How many of you you're not super familiar with marjoram? Some of you? A lot of you. You guys, marjoram is another oil that we always have in our toolkit. Again, It's relaxing to both the voluntary and involuntary muscles. It may be soothing to the nerves, and it can be a powerful immune stimulant. Cypress, it's always in my travel roller. Danette actually taught me this. Have your travel roller. I love to put tangerine and cypress and some carrier oil. If you're going on a long road trip or you're going on a long flight, like when we went to Australia, I was putting that roller on my feet and my ankles and anywhere else I needed it. It also is very grounding and stabilizing. I really like to diffuse it too. Okay, then we have peppermint. Now, how many of you have ever heard anyone in your upline or anyone in Young Living talk about how peppermint is a driver oil? I hope everybody. Copaiba and peppermint are our driver oils. Well, here's what I think is so cool. Maybe this makes me a nerd. But Gary Young put peppermint as the last oil in the 80s because he knew then peppermint is a driver oil. And I think that's so cool that 25 plus years later, we're still teaching that. We've got to keep doing that. We've got to keep teaching each other and passing on the torch. So peppermint, we know in Texas, it's really cooling. We love it in our peppermint spray, or just drop a little on your skin topically, maybe with some carrier oil. It's really pretty much good for everything. Peppermint, lavender, and frankincense. I'm like, yeah, just put it on. Sounds good. Peppermint, lavender, frankincense. Slap it on. You'll be good. And then we have 2 exclusive blends that only Young Living has in the Raindrop Technique. That's Aroma Seas, and then, of course, Valor. Now, I believe Valor 2 is still coming in the Raindrop kit, correct? So it's Valor 2, and then I believe I heard at some point Valor will come back. Okay, so Valor or Valor 2 is what you'll receive in your Raindrop kit. Hopefully you guys have experienced Aroma Seas and Valor, but they're both really incredible oils. Obviously, I'm in love with all the Raindrop oils. At my home, in my office, I have, when you look at my collection of oils, it's raindrop, 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 raindrop everywhere. When people come to our home, they walk into my office and they're like, "What's that smell?" And I'm like, "Take a seat, baby, raindrop." My office just smells like raindrop. Our mailbox man, our postman, has said to me before, "I can always smell the oils coming out of your house." And I'm just like, yeah. And then in the Raindrop kit, we have our Ortho Ease massage oil. And then it comes with a V6 as well. So it comes with both of these. The Raindrop kit is an incredible buy. It really, really is. Now, one of the questions that I often get is, can I just use OrthoSport instead of Ortho Ease in the Raindrop? And I would just say no. And here's why. Because you're already, now maybe someone like Danette, because she's, really comfortable with the oils, but OrthoSport is quite a bit more tingly and cooling than Ortho Ease. And you've already just put, thyme and oregano and marjoram and basil on your body. And OrthoSport is just a little bit more amped up than Ortho Ease. And so there's a reason why Ortho Ease is in the Raindrop kit. And so I personally just say, go with Ortho Ease first, or even just V6 or your favorite carrier oil. So normally in a Raindrop workshop that I would teach, I would have, say, max 10 to 15 people. And you would have a partner, and you and your partner would have a massage table. Some of you in here have been to some of those workshops. And I would do a demo, and then you guys would get a raindrop from your partner and then give a raindrop. And so you leave just in this raindrop heaven, and you smell amazing, and you really understand it. So obviously tonight, we can't do that because of space, but I made a video of me giving just a mini raindrop running through the steps on your notes so that I can show you what these hand movements actually look like and what VitaFlex looks like. And I also wanted to show you on my 6-year-old because I think that a lot of us do have kids in this room, and we want to know if we can do this for our kids and how we would do that. So, something wrong? So, with kids, when you're doing, or with adults, when you're doing raindrop, you always use 3 drops of each oil. But with kids, I just do 1 drop. And I'll show that in the video. I just do 1. I also use lots of carrier oil. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but in raindrop, you're actually not supposed to dilute. Did y'all know that? When I first heard that, I was like, I'm scared. That's oregano. That's hot. And they were like, oh no, it's going to be good. It's the good pain, Audrey. And I was like, oh. And so my care instructor was like, if the person feels uncomfortable, then no problem. Put carrier oil on there. And I was like, okay. But with my kids, I always dilute. Their skin is just more sensitive, so dilute and less oil. I do actually do the same process. My 2.5-year-old, I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit how I do raindrop with him. But with my 6-year-old, he calls it his oil sage. And he loves it, doesn't he, Russ? He absolutely loves it. He will, in this video, he's not very excited to be there because he wanted to have his moment to speak. He wanted to tell you guys all about some things, and I was like, do not talk. So you'll get to see, I'm like, face down, Finn. But it's the same process. I go through the exact same process with my son, or as long as they're willing to be still. As long as they're willing to be still. So if you get halfway through and they're like, I'm over it, then you at least did some. Of course, it's the same benefit. And then I wanted to mention how often my 6-year-old, if need be, he can get a raindrop once a month. If he needed it more, I would definitely do that. There's definitely been seasons where we have. But it's really up to you. What I love that Dr. Cindy Hagerton says is you're the scientist in your own home. So you get to decide what you want to do with raindrop, which I just really love because that's super empowering. Okay, we're going to get the lights in the back, and I'm going to play this video. All right, guys, here we are. I'm with Finn, and I'm about to give him a little mini raindrop. I have this cart right here that I use to give my raindrops, and it's super, super helpful for me. I keep my warm compressed towels down there. Here's my oils and my Ortho Ease and my V6. Here is my bolster, which I'm actually not going to use on Finn. He's so little, he doesn't need it, but make sure you have this for adults. And then, of course, you're going to need your top sheet. We're not going to use that on Finn this evening because he says he's too hot. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And you guys all have this sheet. We've printed these out for you. And I'm just going to roughly go through these steps and show you guys what these hand techniques look like. So we're going to start out with the VitaFlex on the bottoms of the feet. This is how you begin your raindrop after you do the balancing on the shoulders and the bottoms of the feet. VitaFlex looks super easy, but it actually takes quite a bit of practice. So the way that I like to practice is on my hand. It is pad, tip, nail. Pad, tip, nail. It is not a squeezing, and you definitely don't want to rush through it. So practice even on yourself, on your forearm, pad, tip, nail, pad, tip, nail. So when I'm doing it, that's what it's going to look like. We're going to do it on the spine of the foot. This is down at our lower back, and we're going to do it all the way up to the big toe. You can look in your EODR, and you'll see different charts on this, and you'll see how we are stimulating pretty much every part of the body by doing VitaFlex on the spine of the foot. So I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how I'm going to do it with Valor, which is the first oil in the sequence. I'm going to put 3 drops in the palm of my hand. Sometimes you get a little bit more. That's okay. I'm going to rub it clockwise in the palm of my hand. Take my right hand to his left foot, or his right foot, I guess. And I'm going to anchor, because he's so little, I'm anchoring his foot against my leg. And I start with pad, tip, nail, pad, tip, nail. And so this is the speed that I do it at. Some people do it a little bit faster. I find that it's most relaxing for people if you do it at that pace. So then I go back after I do one swipe and I get the pads of my fingers soaked up with oils again, and I do the VitaFlex technique. Pad, tip, nail. Pad, tip, nail. This is where it's important that you don't have fingernail polish and where you don't have long nails. Pad, tip, nail. Pad, tip, nail. Pad, tip, nail. So when I'm done doing that one time, I take the remainder of the oil and I'm going to rub the excess on the bottoms of his feet. And then I'm going to go on here over to the other side. I'm going to take my oil in my right hand. Drop it right here. In my right hand, this is what we call our well hand. I'm going to get the pads of my fingers covered with my Valor, and I'm going to do this 3 times. Everything in Raindrop is done in the number 3. All the way up. Pad, tip, nail. And you will find, if you're right hand dominant, that doing this on the left hand can be a little tricky. It is a little awkward at first, but I promise the more you practice, the better and the better you will be. So, 3 times. I'm going to do it slow one more time for you guys. Pad, tip, nail. Pad, tip, nail. Pad, tip, nail. This is not a squeezing, okay? It's not a squeezing. Pad, tip, nail. We are stimulating all of the parts of the body. Pad, tip, nail. And again, because he is so little, I have to hold steady with my other hand or his leg would just go flying. Okay, so come back to our paper here. We do the VitaFlex on the feet 3 times up the spine. That is from the sacrum to the head, heel to toe. We do Valor, oregano, thyme, basil, wintergreen, marjoram, cypress, and peppermint. We do them all 3 times on each foot. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Ben to go ahead and go on up here. He's already ready to go. Now normally what we would do is we would, if Ben was an adult, we would then remove the bolster from underneath the knees and we would put it on the ankles, which we can keep it on the ankles. And this just takes pressure off the lower back. And then also, if he wanted to use a sheet, we would use this sheet for the person, and you're just going to take it and you're going to tuck it right there underneath their underwear or their shorts. Ben doesn't want a sheet, so we're just going to remove it for him. Okay, you ready, bud? Okay. So when you do Raindrop, you want to have their underwear or their pants as low as possible so that you can affect the bottom of the spine. We want to make sure that we never put any pressure on the spine. We are simply doing everything on the sides of the spine. Now with children, I always dilute a bunch before I do Raindrop. I'm using our Young Living V6. You can use whatever type of carrier oil you prefer, but I'm just going to go and cover Finn's entire back because kids' skin is just a little bit more sensitive. Please, buddy, put your head down. Kids' skin is just a little bit more sensitive than adults, and know this, I was shocked by this, but in Raindrop, actually, you're not supposed to dilute it all unless the person requests dilution. Okay, you're covered in carrier oil. You got some dog hair on you. Okay, So let's walk through these steps together. So first you see that we talk about the feather stroking from the base all the way to the head. And you see that we say 3, 6, 12 inches 3 times each. So this is what that looks like. We start with oregano, and with an adult, I would do 3 drops. But because Finn is so little, I'm just going to do 1. So I drop my oil, and I'm going to do my 3-inch feather strokes. Now you will notice when you do the feather strokes, people will get goosebumps, and this is good. That means that their nerves are responding. I kind of like to picture it like the nerves are responding and they're coming up to catch the oils. So this is the 3-inch feather stroke. It's very light. You're not leaving any like they can barely feel it when you do the feather strokes. This is the light effleurage. So you do it 3 times at the 3-inch, and then you do it 3 times at 6 inches apart. And then you're going to do it 3 times at a 12-inch stroke. Now on an adult's back, you're going to be able to see that difference much better, but on a child, not as much. So when we look at our paper, we're going to do that with the raindrop, with the oregano and the thyme, the feather stroking. And then once we're done with that, please, buddy. We're almost done. Just a minute. Once we're done with that, we're going to do the feathers straight to the sides 3 times, hands width apart. That's literally what this looks like all the way up the back. Already you see in Finn, he has a little bit of redness from oregano, and we have diluted. He's not in pain. He's totally fine. In Raindrop, most likely, because these are very hot oils, you will see the skin respond. Do not panic. It's okay. It's quite normal. After you do the feathering to the sides, you're going to do 3 of these, feathering up and over the shoulders. That is our oregano and thyme. Then you're going to go to do the feather strokes with basil, wintergreen, and marjoram. You're going to do the exact same thing that I just did with oregano, but with those 3 oils. 3, 6, 12, up the spine. Then we're going to do our finger circles. Now when I do finger circles, I generally always have to dilute, especially on an adult, because they haven't had any carrier oil. And you literally take your fingers just like this, and you're going to do finger circles along the spine, the sides of the spine. You're not going to do it on the spine, because that would be very painful for them, but on the side of the spine. Your pressure is going to be so much that you can see the whites in your nails. You're going to do it 3 times on each side. So after I would do it on this side, I would go around and do it on the other side as well. In your finger circles for adults, you can drop aromases on after, say, 2 passes up the spine. And that's really great for our muscles. After all of that, after your finger circles, we get to cypress. Now cypress is applied via a sprinkling. Instead of just 1 drop or 3 drops of the oils, you do it like a salt shaker. And that's what this looks like. Now, I know Finn is a child, cypress isn't really a hot oil, and so I'm going to go ahead and do the sprinkling. And then we do the feathering. The 3, 6, 12, like we've done previously. After we have done it 3 times, each of the 3 inches, 6 inches, and 12 inches, we are going to do our thumb VitaFlex. Thumb VitaFlex is where it's also really important that you have cut your nails. You are going to do the VitaFlex technique, which is the pad tip nail on the sides of the spine, I like to overlap my thumbs so they don't cross. And this is what it looks like. We do it 3 times. And the last pass. If you have long nails, this is where you will leave marks at their spine. So just make sure that you cut your nails really good. Now after we do the thumb glide flex, we're going to do the finger straddle, also known as the saw maneuver. You're going to make a V with your fingers, and you're going to take your other hand and make this type of saw. And you're literally going to do this kind of saw maneuver up their back. This feels really good to people. Russ, do you mind coming on the other side here? You're doing a little saw maneuver. Again, the pressure you're applying shows the whites of your nails, and you take it all the way up to the top of their neck. Then we're going to do what's called the shake or the quiver. This helps elongate the spine. This is probably the hardest one that we do, and it is a pushing down and shaking. You're stretching it and shaking it out. Keeping in mind to not put pressure on their spine. After we do that, you apply your ortho ease to the entire back, and we do the palm slide 3 times. People also absolutely love this part. It's so relaxing. You're almost done, Finn. You're almost done. After we do that part, please, buddy. After we do that part, we will do the sprinkling with Valor, just like we did Cypress. I'm also not afraid to be generous with Valor. It's an amazing oil, and I want him to get all the benefits. So we do the feather stroking, and then we do the arched feather angel wing strokes. And that looks like this. So I know this is a speedy Cliff Notes version, but this just gives you guys an idea. This whole process does take 60 minutes. It is quite lengthy. And then after we do Valor, we end it off with Peppermint. We would do 3 drops on an adult, but for Finn, I'm just going to do 1 drop. If I can coax 1 drop out, of course I picked a bottle. There we go. We do the feather strokes, and then we do the same with Valor, the arched feather or the angel wing stroke that looks like this. Okay, guys, thank you. You think, did that help you? Was that helpful? You all want to get a raindrop from me, I know it. Okay, so next, and I've got to thank Finn, I've got to buy him a present for being willing to do that. But next we have the warm compress. I have literally a 2-minute video to show you guys on how to do that, because warm compress is really where the person that you're giving the raindrop to falls in love with you. They absolutely melt into the table, or if you're not doing it on the table, you're doing it on the bed, they melt into the bed, and they just love it. It feels so divine. And I teach my team to use the warm compress technique even outside of raindrop. So our oils are fat soluble, right? When I got into Young Living, I didn't even know what that meant. I actually had to Google that. I was like, what in the world? What does that mean? Water makes it more intense? And so if our oils are fat soluble, the warm compress, which uses water, is going to intensify your raindrop. It's really going to push those oils deeper into the muscle tissue. Now, the instructions are how to do that, and I did want to mention this. For people with MS, you're going to use a cool compress, okay? Now, when I'm doing my raindrop days for my team, I always have a crock pot in my office, and I set it on the warm setting, and I have a raindrop crock pot. I don't know if my husband's ever cooked in it, but it's supposed to be just for raindrop. And when I'm teaching my team about raindrop, I use that crock pot because it enables me to not constantly be running to the bathroom sink, turning the hot water on, waiting for it to get hot, and then wringing it out, and then by the time I get back to the table, it's not that hot anymore. And so the crock pot helps me do that. But if you're literally just doing it for, your spouse or your child, just go to your sink, get it as hot as you can, wring it out. You don't want it, like when you're walking, you don't want water just dripping, to the bottom, but wet enough to where they can feel the weight. So one of the things I hear from people when they get their first raindrop is they think that I'm using something besides my hands. I've been told, are you using a feather? And I was like, no, that's my hands. So, and then I've been told, I thought you were using like a special tool. I was like, no, magic fingers, raindrop hands. And with the warm compress, you often get told, I felt like you were putting like a weight on my back. That was so incredible, but it's just the water. So again, towel 1, towel 2, and I will say, can't be like a tea towel, like a kitchen tea towel. You want it to be, a good bath towel because that's going to hold your water even better. Okay, last video. Okay guys, I wanted to just quickly, before I show you the warm compress, show you in your EODR, this is also in your pocket reference guide, when we're doing the VitaFlex on the feet, this is all the parts of the body that we're stimulating. And then when we are looking at the spine, you can also see everything that we're stimulating as well. So it is really important to look at this and understand this. It gives you just kind of understanding behind why we're doing the VitaFlex here and how it matters. Okay, so let's go on up here and do our warm compress. I use a dry towel. I'm going to place it over Finn's back, just like this. And this is really the part that people look forward to in Raindrop. It is so nice. Basically, you just kind of melt into the massage table. A lot of people take a nap during this time. But it is really important that you apply a dry towel over top. They have had some really hot oils put on their back. Of course, then you applied some carrier oil at the end. And having this dry towel is going to create a barrier. Remember, our oils are fat soluble. And so by applying water, we are intensifying it. So this is just a normal hand towel. And I have wet it. Usually in the house, of course we're outside right now, so it's kind of warm, so this is cool. But you would make it as hot as you can get it, and you would wring it out. And then I always fold it up like this, 3 ways. And then I fold it down, and I carry it over to the person. I start up at the neck, and then I fold it down just like this over their spine. Now Finn isn't that long because he's little, so I'm just going to kind of double it over. And then I'm going to take the sides of the towel and drape them over top of the wet cloth. And this is going to kind of create just like a little steam room in there. And I let people enjoy this for a good 10 minutes. If it gets too intense, then I just tell them to let me know and I'll remove it. Most people love every single bit of it, and like I said, so many people fall asleep. So use this warm compress. It will definitely drive the oils in deeper, and you will get a greater benefit. Okay, you guys, here's the thing. Some of you may think, just different personalities are this way, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do a 60-minute raindrop. Well, there's so many other ways that we can actually incorporate raindrop into our everyday lifestyle when our family needs a boost. For starters, with my 2.5-year-old, I love to do the feet-only portion on him. He'll even let me do the VitaFlex on him. I will literally, I can take some of our giveaways, we have these raindrop roll-ons. I will take the raindrop roll-on and put it on his feet, on the spine of his foot, and I'll do the VitaFlex just on his feet. If you don't have time to do it 3 times on each foot, just do it 1 time on each foot. That's totally okay. But we really like doing the feet only on road trips. I don't know about y'all, but it seems like kids need special immune support on road trips. And so you're driving along, you're like, oh man, break out that raindrop roller, and you're leaning back and doing a little VitaFlex or getting those raindrop rollers on the bottoms of their feet. You can also, maybe instead of that thieves roll-on, graduate up a little bit and do the raindrop roll-on to start your day. Before your kids go to school, before you go to work, or whatever you're going to do, use that raindrop roller. It is something to do when you are in a hurry and don't have a lot of time. Or you can just do the feathering only. My husband hasn't mastered all the techniques yet on raindrop. I'm really quick to be like, you're doing that wrong. That's not it. But he is good at the feathering part. And so if I feel like I need a big immune boost, then I'll have him drop the oils on my spine and just do the feathering part. So have people do that for you in your life. You know, we always get that question, hey, what do I do? And you say normally, thieves roller, frankincense. How about feathering the raindrop oils on your spine? And we all know why layering is so great, right? Layering is awesome because we give 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes in between applying each oil. We give that time, and that's going to give time for each of the oils to do their job and to soak into your tissue. Warm compress, you can do in a hurry too. I believe it was the last time my husband feathered the oils on my spine, and he forgot to put the big towel on, and he hadn't used any carrier oil. Man, I looked like a cat jumping off the massage table. I was like, dude, did you put the dry towel down? No, I didn't even think of that. What are you trying to do to me? So make sure that your spouse or whoever's doing it for you knows how to do the warm compress. But I often do this with Finn. If I don't have time for his 60-minute oil massage, then I will just feather the oils on his spine like Shell Carter taught me, and then I will do the warm compress for him. Then we have Raindrop in a Bottle, which we have 3 of those for you guys today. They are great for travel, great in a bind. I like to apply the roller to the bottoms of my feet, of course to my spine, and then right here down my neck. It's a really, really great spot. That's the recipe for those of you that were wondering. You can put this in a 10 ml roller, or you can recycle that 15 ml bottle of something and use a roller fitment for the top of it. Of course, you're going to fill it with a carrier oil. I suggest just, our awesome V6. And it's really, really, really simple. Everybody good on this one? Oh. Could you not see it? Oh. I think you mean in the beginning? Oh, the balancing? I don't know. Do you know? I don't. Oh, Gary says it's the right energy by doing that. That would make sense with the balancing. The balancing part I didn't explain because it's actually quite hard in a large setting or in a video to explain the balancing part. That's good that you asked that, but really it does look like this when you're doing it to the person and you're holding their feet. And my instructor, my care course, she told me some of you are going to feel like an actual connection with the person. You're going to be like, oh, I feel it. And then some of you aren't going to feel anything. So if you don't feel anything, then just wait a good 30 seconds and then begin. But I know it's great. I can feel their heartbeat in their feet, and I can just feel this connection. It's just like an energy that we're connected and we're ready to get going doing the raindrop. And then I, of course, ask them, hey, are you ready to go? And then we go for it. Okay, so last bit, Raindrop culture and its benefits. And I'm doing okay on time. Okay, raindrop culture and its benefits. You guys, Raindrop has totally changed my relationship with my team. It really has. I travel all over to teach classes to my team, of course, and we'll often do little raindrop girls' nights, raindrop parties, and you can only build relationship through Facebook Messenger for so long, right? You got to get face to face. And so being able to give someone on my team a raindrop, we're connected forever. We're connected. We've just bonded. We've had an incredible moment. They'll always remember that time Audrey drove to Lincoln, Nebraska in one day and gave me a raindrop. I've done that. One-on-one time with your team. You're building relationship. You're learning about the value of the oils and falling in love with our company. So here's the thing. I always have something that I tell people the first time I give them a raindrop. I'm going to teach you as I'm doing the VitaFlex what each oil is good for. I'm going to teach you what I'm doing while I do it. You're not just going to get to fall asleep because I want you to see the value in this incredible kit of oils that we have. And as I'm doing it, they're like, oh, really? You can use the oil for that? Oh, wow, that's amazing. Guess what they go home and order? The Raindrop Kit. It helps them also fall in love with our company because they know, because I tell them, this is exclusive to Young Living. Our founder created this. It's amazing. And we're still here 25 plus years later teaching people about it. It is your face-to-face care call. How many of you in here, care calls, ooh, gives you the shakes? I actually have to put sunglasses on when I do it. It makes me feel much more confident. I have photos of it where I've showed my team, you guys, I just did them, sunglasses on. But I have actually, I don't know, my husband has said this before, I don't get you. You get the shakes calling somebody, but you're fine with giving a raindrop to a total stranger. And I don't know, that's just the way I work. But I've actually, I don't know what the technical term for it is, but if Young Living ever gifts you someone, I call it like an orphan. If Young Living ever gifts you a stranger in your organization, that's a really cool opportunity. And I actually have had the privilege of giving a raindrop to some orphans in my organization. They wouldn't answer my phone call, they wouldn't answer my emails, but when they saw me from the virtual office say, hey, I want to do some practice on raindrops, guess who responded? Those orphans. And I got to meet them face to face, and then they weren't afraid of me anymore. They knew who I was. Raindrop workshops, girls' nights, I talked a little bit about that. I think that this is a great class to have with your team. Let's say you only have one person on your team. Guess what? You get a raindrop, they get a raindrop. Really simple, you guys. Just in your, I was on my patio giving Finn a raindrop. You can do it anywhere. Of course, you're going to want the massage tables. It can also help create new members. We used to have a neighbor that I was always telling her about oils, and I was like, I just don't know if I'm ever going to get her to say yes to Young Living. And she came to a point where she could really benefit from Raindrop. Gave her a raindrop. Oh, she got a kit the next day because Raindrop is incredible. Boost and OGV. You got to get the Raindrop kit. And then once you fall in love with Raindrop, guess what? You always have to have the Raindrop oils. I will not be caught without my Raindrop oils. I hopefully this doesn't happen. I would run out of thieves or something like that before I would run out of my Raindrop oils. When I travel, I always have my Raindrop oils because I love to give raindrops while I'm traveling. When I was in Australia with Danette, I had the privilege of being a guest at Diamond Retreat. I got to give another diamond a raindrop that really needed it. But I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't have my Raindrop oils. And then a passing on of the torch. This is really why I teach my team Raindrop. And it makes me emotional because it's so important to me because I know when Gary Young put this together, he was thinking about us. He was thinking about us. He was saying, they need this. They need this. And 100 years, 200 years down the road, stop crying. They're going to be teaching people about Raindrop. And you guys, I can't even tell you all the amazing testimonies about Raindrop. I can't. But I can tell you that it's made enough of an impact on my life and the people in my family to where I am a Raindrop addict. I do it all the time. I probably give 5 to 10 raindrops a month to people, and it has drastically changed my team culture. I'm a high red. I'm a red-blue. If you've done that personality test, I just did it last week. I was 60% red and like 29% blue. And so I need to do this to make connection with people on my team. I just can't do it well through Facebook Messenger, and this gives me an opportunity to lay hands on my team members and to help them. I also got to give a raindrop like last week to Maggie Grayson. I think some of her team's here tonight. She'd never had a raindrop before, and she loved it. She loved it. So please, you guys, go home tonight, make sure you get those raindrop oils, get your raindrop kit, and just go for it. Progress over perfection, right? Progress over perfection. Pad tip nail, and you will be golden. Come find me, let's be friends, on Instagram and Facebook. I would love to stay in touch with you guys. I've never done a warm compress on the feet just because I don't know how to keep it from falling down. But if you can figure out a way to make some contraption to keep the compress on there, I mean, why not? Wouldn't hurt, right? Yes. Got it. With a hand towel and kind of drape it over. Oh, yeah. Yes, like they do it when you're getting a pedicure. Yes, ma'am. So I tell them that if they really want to learn, I'm willing to teach, but they've got to bring a partner. They got to have a partner, and then they have to bring a massage table. And then I also tell them that they have every, team of 2 has to bring their own oils. And then I supply the information. And so, we may choose a big living room. We may choose, a basement or even someone's backyard if the weather's nice. I'm not really picky about the space. And then we just hang out together, and I do a demo first because I want them to see me do it. And then they do one, and then they receive one, and I walk around and tell them all what they need to be doing. That's how I do it. Okay, let's do some giveaways. Alrighty, I had some questions here. Where's my paper? Okay. Who can name the 7 oil singles in Raindrop? 7 oil singles. Yes. You can't cheat? Boom. Yes. She went to one of my first raindrop workshops and has fallen in love. So here is your raindrop roll-on that you're going to use in a bind that you're going to gift to someone. So nice. All right. Who can tell me the 3 steps for VitaFlex? Said it about a gajillion times. There you go. Another raindrop roll-on. Okay. Another question. I would like to know who can tell me just one way that Raindrop can benefit your team culture. Yes. Okay, will benefit you. Tell me, how can it benefit you? Immune system. There we go. Back here, I got another raindrop roll-on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now who can tell me, whoa, this is really generous. That pocket reference guy. Who can tell me a way that it can benefit your team culture and your business? Floral pattern shirt. Boost OGB, baby. Who doesn't want that? Let me go back here. I'll pass it down. Awesome. No problem. Thank you. Thank you, Danette. Danette provided all the giveaways for you guys tonight, so big props to her. She's always so generous. That Danette Goodyear, I tell you. Okay, kind of little, but let's quickly talk about our May promo oils. I don't know. Let's see. Does it say, oh, enter full screen? Okay. Guys, May promos, they are incredible, aren't they? All right, starting out 100 PV, our ER exclusive is Lime Vitality. Hello, guacamole. Hello, lime water. Hello, Ningxia Red Spritzer. Tacos, taco salad, taco meat, anything lime, Lime Vitality is incredible. Then at our 190 PV, we have a 15 ml, Big Mama bottle size, of Eucalyptus radiata. I love making like chest rubs with that one. And then the ER exclusive, Peace and Calming. Yeah. If you have kids, you better have lots of that one. Then we have at the 250 PV mark, Juniper, a 15 ml size. Now every time we go to convention, I feel like we're always distilling Juniper, right? Always. I actually love the way it smells. And every time I smell it, I'm just like, oh, convention, farm day, the Mona Farm. And it's actually one that's really great to rub over top of your kidneys. Of course, then you have Peace and Calming, Lime Vitality. And then at the 300 PV, we get 2 more oils. 2 more. Thieves Oil, 15 ml size. I mean, guys, you can never have enough Thieves. My team's always like, oh, good, I can take that one out of my ER order because I'm going to get it for free. And then we also have a Clarity. I actually am using that one tonight to make sure I don't like have a squirrel moment on you guys. And I like to just put it on my temples or the back of my neck. If you sit at the computer a lot, this is also a really good one to use. So those are our May promos. Be sure, you guys, and promote those to your team. We always assume that everybody sees that Facebook post on the 1st, in your group. Most of the time, you're the only one and like 5 other leaders that are like literally drooling to know what the promo is. But everybody else is like feeding their kids breakfast, getting them to school, and they may forget, right? Am I right? We have to tell our teams, we have to tell our personal enrollments about this promo because it's super, super important. Become master promoters, you guys.